In moments like this, I'm reminded of a phrase that is attributed to a French diplomat, aristocrat, Alexis de Tocqueville, who visited America in the 1800s, and he documented what he saw in this new American republic. And he said the famous lines attributed to him, I don't know if he actually said it, but it's attributed to him: America is great because America is good. And I'm reminded of that phrase right now as we saw that America used its B-2 bombers. The President Trump decided to do this, I really should say, because I don't know if we'd be seeing the same thing under the alternative administration. And he said, we are going to get involved and put I'm not necessarily going to say the finishing touches because I don't think this is over yet, but launch the key blow to Iran's nuclear program, which it seemed only these kind of planes would be able to really achieve. Now, I have no doubt that Israel's exceptional ingenuity, they'd find other ways if they had to in some way eliminate Fordo, whether it meant boots on the grounds. Who knows what that could look like. But the fact that President Trump agreed to do this, and not only that, but it was with clear coordination with the Israelis, and it meant that there didn't have to be soldiers that would be sacrificed. It was quick, it was swift, it was powerful. And we're getting information now and intelligence now that Fordo, Natanz, Isfahan, these sites have been severely degraded. The details, pictures, and all the full information will become clear in due course. But we're seeing here that though there were doubters, there were questions around it, America acted in a critical moment. And I want to talk more about questions around, isolationism, and is this really just Israel's problem alone? Because that is utter nonsense. But even if it is just Israel's problem, the fact is that Iran posed a existential threat to Israel. Israel has shown the most incredible ingenuity and detailed planning in going after Iran over the past week, where they essentially have cleared the airspace to have free access to Iran's airspace as a result of their operation. And the fact that President Trump got involved quickly and decisively is a huge moral credit to him. First of all, even if it wasn't Iran wasn't a threat to America, which it very clearly is, and has been planning and supporting all kinds of terrorist plots against America, and wants to start with its fight in Israel, but then take it to America. But even if not, I don't understand why can't countries do things that are moral, especially with their allies, especially to people and countries and nations where they have the power to help, and it's not at huge cost and expense to them, as is in this case. What's the problem with countries acting morally to help neighbours who are under direct assault through no fault of their own, and where you can help them? But America, of course, benefits hugely from their relationship with Israel, with intelligence that I think, honestly, what Israel pulled off in the first week, yes, American might be able to blow up Fordo and these other nuclear sites, but the intelligence to get all these IRGC officials to dismantle these air defense missiles, which pave the way for this B-2 stealth bomber to come in. I think it's something that maybe only Israel and the Mossad would have been able to pull off. I mean, they've been clearly working this for a very long time. But they've done it. And I want to show you both President Trump's statement and Prime Minister Netanyahu's statements, because they're powerful and they're compelling in explaining why they've done this. It also puts to rest the notion that there was some kind of distance between America and Israel. Many people thought that Trump was distancing himself from Israel. In his recent trip to the Middle East, he didn't visit Israel. I wonder if this was also part of a deception campaign to make Iran and others rest on their laurels and think, no, Trump's not going to come to Israel's aid. Well, here he is. This is a picture of Trump in the Situation Room of the White House during the moment of the strike. And let's be absolutely clear. The morality of this is unquestionable. When someone tries to kill you, as the Talmud says, rise up and kill them first. I was so moved by Netanyahu's first speech when he first launched the attack against Iran. He goes to the Kotel hours earlier to pray the Western Wall. And then they do this exceptional attack on Iran that will go down in history books of Israel's history, comparable, if not even greater, to 48 and 67. The miracles we've seen. And by the way, let's not forget, most importantly of all, the divine help that Israel's had. Because let me tell you something. I was just watching this really interesting documentary it's on Netflix, about how they got bin Laden. And they rehearsed 100 times the raid, and they reconstructed his compound, which was in Pakistan. They didn't know the insides of it, so they kind of remade it in various different ways, and they rehearsed it 100 times. And yet, so many things still went wrong on the day. A helicopter nearly crashed, and other problems happened, and the population figured out what was going on. They started surrounding the compound, Pakistanis. And yes, it was successful, but things go wrong. So people thinking, oh, it's just Mossad's genius. Let me tell you something. You can plan and plan and plan. But Netanyahu himself said in an interview, he said, he sees the hand of God in this. He said in an interview just after this happened with an Israeli media outlet, he said, I can't help but see the hand of heaven here. And he realized from the start it's going to take heavenly divine assistance. But what I was saying before about his speech is that I was so moved by when he said that he's learned the lesson of World War II, of Winston Churchill. He's learned the lesson that you take tyrants seriously. Even though you may be war-weary from World War I, like America maybe is war-weary from Iraq, and Israel is war-weary from 80 years of war. If your enemy says they want to destroy you, take them seriously. Don't wait. Act first. And Netanyahu's saying he's learned the lesson of Winston Churchill. And I say, as much as we may have our criticisms of him from left and right, I sometimes wonder if Israel could go harder and more comprehensive at times and quicker. And we've said that, for a while. But in terms of the fundamentals of going after your enemies and having the guts to do it, I say that Netanyahu is a modern day Winston Churchill. There aren't many leaders that you can say and describe like that in today's world. That's for sure. So I want to show you both what President Trump said and what Netanyahu said. These are historic times. The future, by the way, in terms of what's going to happen in the aftermath, still remains unclear. Iran still, unless this regime collapses, is going to want to go after Israel and America and retaliate. But this is clearly, no matter what happens moving forward, a substantial, significant moment and a severe blow to Iran.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel. And God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations, President Trump. Your bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the awesome and righteous might of the United States will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President Trump acted to deny the world's most dangerous regime the world's most dangerous weapons. His leadership today has created a pivot of history that can help lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often say, peace through strength. First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable faith.
Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.